In this part of the debate, of course, Parmesh and Pallav are to my left. They are sitting with me in the studio. I just introduced them. Sohail Seth joins the debate. And joining Sohail as well is Sanjeev Punalekar, and he is the advisor to the Sanatan Sanstha, which is a very, if I were to say, strident Hindu organization which has strong points of view against against gays.
Not against gays, in favor of a law which would be more powerful and which would stop abuse of...
You want to lock up all homosexuals who are having sexual relations?
No, we never said that. In fact, when the Delhi High Court judgment came, we were very disappointed.
Now, are you for 377 or against it?
We are for 377 with certain changes in it, so as to punish the real perpetrators and to make it more stringent for them.
More stringent?
More stringent for those who are...
You think it's not stringent enough?
This law is such that today what outcries we are hearing is from the people we feel they are the victims of some of the wrongdoers, and the wrongdoers are let off. We feel that the numbers have increased and the campaign has increased because today what we are discussing is...
Do you think it's a crime to be a homosexual, having homosexual relationships among, or homosexual tendencies? Is there anything wrong with it? Just don't couch. If you're going to be direct, be direct. If you want to be indirect and hide behind the law, you say I'm going to hide behind the law.
There are two propositions which the religious organizations, particularly of the Hindu denomination, because we heard the father, we heard Kamal Faruqui. Two denominations which we have been clearly propagating is one, that homosexuality is something which may exist but which is not normal. First, let me come to the next point, that we are of the opinion that there is a lot of hullabaloo on all this and in modern days because there is a clear abuse of children and there is materialism is increasing. That's why
this is not, don't mix it with pedophilia, please. I'd like to get a response on this. The link that is being drawn here with pedophilia. I mean, this is what are you trying to do here? That's a completely different thing. Pallav, you can answer him directly. By the way, one second. By the way, I also want to welcome Dr. Ibrahim Matai joining the debate. Purushottam Muloli is a social activist who fought against the Naz Foundation, and Rahul Easwar stays on. Sohail, before I come to you, yes, please, you want to object.
Pedophilia is pedophilia, and pedophilia is a crime, and pedophilia is non-consensual. It is not the consenting person. So let us be very clear when we are talking about a crime and when we are talking about my natural expression and the fact that my orientation is as natural as your heterosexuality is to you.
What about inducing? I'm not on that. You are telling about a consent which
How
is
does one induce somebody to be homosexual?
I'm asking only one question to you.
There is nothing like induction.
Answer it.
There is nothing like conversion.
Yes, there is. Because
no, there is not.
Because
there is not. If there is something like conversion, if there is something like conversion, then probably we need to redefine sexuality.
That the people who induce them are sitting in their drawing halls and watching it with
their
children and grandchildren.
We are not talking about electromagnetic theories here, about induction.
So here's the point. I just wanted to... What he's saying here today, Sanjeev Punalekar, is he's saying induction. So by that he means that there are homosexuals who are going around, converting...
I'm talking about bisexuals. I'm talking about bisexuals. Those who are trying to do and they're enjoying their own life. I'm on that. I am for more punishment for them.
Okay, one second. He's laughing out here. Sohail wants to respond. Yes, Sohail, you want to say something to Sanjeev Punalekar here today, who's using the... You also want to respond to him? Okay, go ahead. Sohail first.
After Sohail. No, I just worry for the Sanatan Dharma if representatives like him are allowed loose in public to express an illogical argument and guise it in the form of religiosity. There are only three basic arguments on today's Supreme Court judgment. Number one, the dignity of every Indian is sacrosanct, regardless of what that individual's private sexual preferences are. Number two, the Supreme Court has given and has dealt a deathly blow to millions of people who believed that they lived in a country that was free, that was liberal, that was marching towards a new destiny, a new horizon. And the third, I believe that Parliament will be wimpish, will hide behind the cloak of the Supreme Court's diktats.
And
if you think this Parliament is going to do something, you have another thing coming. The reality is, we have seen the best form of passing the pillow today. And the tragedy is Indians will be sleepless when they are confronted with a Supreme Court that is out of sync with today's with today's times and with what people expect of the Honorable Supreme Court.
Passing the buck.
Today the LGBT community hasn't been let down. India, the idea of India and India as a nation state is not only crestfallen, has been let down admirably by some two gentlemen who we thought would use the sanctity of judgment, something that B.R. Ambedkar wrote in the Constitution, that dignity is a guaranteed right. It is not a bestowed right. The Delhi High Court issued a superb judgment. The Supreme Court has shown that with the passage of time, India won't progress. We will regress.
Sohail,
it's not about religion.
What's going to happen now?
It's not about what Father Dominic said.
No, what's going to happen now, the worrisome thing is, when it goes into the arena of politics, we all know what's going to happen. There will be no law.
No one's going to take a stand.
There will be no law. I can challenge you tonight.
Take a stand against,
there will be no law.
Do you think,
and I heard Abhishek Manu Singh
stand
say
against the stupid utterances of Baba Ramdev?
No,
do you think they'll take a stand against Baba Ramdev? Do you think the BJP will come out and say that we do not agree with the Sanatan, that we do not agree with the RSS? Do you think the Congress, which never speaks, will at least find its voice for those millions of people that it also represents? Don't pin your hopes on Parliament, Arnab. It's better to pin your hopes on a moral recasting of India's aspirations rather than on Parliament.
No, one second. I think what's happening here is that Parliament will do nothing. Because Parliament is worried about upsetting, they think we'll upset the Christian community. Then they'll think we'll upset the Hindu community. Then they'll think we'll upset the Muslim community. And in the process, they will waffle and they will do nothing. There was one opportunity of changing in the arena of law, and unfortunately tonight we have lost that. And the Supreme Court, by passing the buck, has forever condemned the gay, lesbian, bisexual and transgender community of this country to living their life in the closet, which is unfortunate, most unfortunate. But I think change will come if people go onto the streets on this. Yes, please go ahead, Parmesh.
So Arnab, it's a dark day, but I don't share the same doom and gloom, because there are changes that are happening all around us which the Supreme Court has not noticed. For example, I work in corporate India. I work at a company like Godrej, which is very LGBT friendly. We have HR policies that are LGBT friendly. You go to any college across this country, you will find young people for whom it doesn't matter. They have gay friends, they have lesbian friends, they have straight friends. It's not an issue. It's an orientation. It doesn't define them. And since everyone talks about families, why is it that families are only the jagir of straight people? Gay people have families too. Gay people have parents, gay people have brothers, gay people have sisters. Families are part of our lives as well.
That's true.
We live in families.
Yes, you
so many gay people. You had Jerry, you had a gay couple before. We make our own families. Families are as much a part of our lives.
No, he's saying that you go around converting people into homosexuality, and the reason is, that's why he says
orientation. If it should be so easy, straight people should be able to convert homosexual into straightness. No, it doesn't happen. It's an orientation.
What are you trying to create? This whole fear that there are these group of people who are completely perverted, who have the wrong views on what the natural order of the world should be, and who go around as part of a conspiracy looking for people to turn into homosexuals. I mean, it seems like a bad thriller.
From about 70 years
Dr.
ago.
Abraham Mathai, president of Indian Christian Voice, even he will accept. It's some terrible B-grade thriller script which is being written in the way you're describing homosexuals. Which side are you on, Dr. Abraham Mathai?
Actually, Arnab, I am totally against this 377. It has to be scrapped because it is a violation of a person's human right, because whatever happens in the privacy with two consenting adults cannot be termed as a crime. Therefore, it's not criminal. What is morally not right is not criminal by any stretch of imagination. I want to give an example, Arnab. Suppose two consulting adults, husband and wife, two couples, husband and wife, if they swap their couples, they swap their spouses, which is right now in a kind of fashion in certain societies, is that a crime? But it's morally not right. But it's not going to be told that is going to be a criminal.
No, but
therefore, what will the court do at that point of time?
Now, what is the relevance of that example? I'm not understanding.
I mean, I can't understand how wife swapping is the barometer of new morality.
That argument itself is terrible. Dr. Abraham Mathai, take back that argument. Take back that argument because, 1 minute. Dr. Abraham Mathai, what you're saying is there are a lot of things going wrong around us. This is one of them. So if we don't talk...
So what is morally wrong need not be criminal.
But don't first of all,
wrong.
So you think it's morally wrong? So you think it's morally wrong? Then stand up for it and say it.
I'm a Christian. I believe in the Bible, but I don't say they're criminals.
But there
I
are so
don't say
many
they're
churches,
criminals.
there are
The
so many
Bible
churches
says-
all over the
the
world
Bible
which have
says God
accepted
will
With due
LGBT people.
respect, Arnab,
Dr. Mathai.
Arnab,
Fine,
with due
that's-
respect to the
but this
Supreme
is my
Court,
opinion.
with due respect to the Supreme Court was itself caught between what is moral and what is legal. When they pronounced a rule of law on Justice A.K. Ganguly, it was based on an inquiry that was commissioned. The fact that Justice Ganguly refuses to resign in the wake of this scurrilous or this really serious commentary on his behavior, I mean, what are we talking about? The Supreme Court is to define law in consonance with the aspirations and the changing times we live in. It is not a court which pronounces moral judgment.
Yeah.
Because let me ask the Supreme Court with grave reverence, how many of them, and would they like a scan of how many of them are straight and how many aren't?
No. One sec.
would the
Let's not get into that. No, let's not show disrespect, Sohail. Let's not show that kind of disrespect. 1 second. Well, I strongly distance
Not at
myself
all.
from what you've said. No,
It's a
1 second,
legal,
Sohail.
logical
No,
argument.
but the question is, no, 1 second. It's not. I do not want to have any personal remarks here against the Supreme Court. I have begun the program by saying we have a right to question the Supreme Court verdict, which I have. I am asking a question to all viewers of Newshour tonight.
Absolutely.
And I am asking this question to Purushottam Muloli, who has fought against the Naz Foundation. You really think, Mr. Muloli, that we should be together with Pakistan, Bangladesh, Zambia, Tanzania, and Burundi, and only one notch better than Iran, Saudi Arabia, Somalia, Sudan, and Mauritania, where homosexuality is an offense punishable by death? Is that the group of nations we, 21st century India, belong to? Answer my question, Mr. Muloli.
Look, Arnab, I will remain in the realm of court because I am there for 13 years, right from 2001, against the Naz Foundation's case. Perhaps you should revisit the petition and then look into that petition and what the court has given a judgment in the High Court, and then later the Supreme Court gave it away. That means it is squashed. Until and unless we look into that, what we are you people are talking in the outside is not the real truth there. If I say they have neither the High Court nor the Supreme Court ever mentioned anything about the homosexual. The judgment in the High Court, which is the operative part, is saying that adults in private. How can you convert that into the homosexual?
No, please. Please.
What is the
Please.
I think
Please.
you've not
Please.
read-
No,
I think
please.
you've not read the
I don't think
judgment.
you're aware of the judgment.
I don't think you read the
Read the
judgment.
judgment today.
I can't hear you.
Purushottam Muloli, with respect, I don't think you've read the High Court judgment or the Supreme Court judgment. Otherwise, you would not have said something as silly as that. You have not read it. I suggest you read it and then you make your arguments. Because this judgment, in fact, today's Supreme Court judgment talks about carnal intercourse against the order of nature.
Absolutely.
They may not. So, please, that
Absolutely.
is. You know what is the implication?
And these words were written 150 years ago.
You have a whole
Yeah.
judgment in your hand?
Wait.
I don't have a judgment,
no,
okay?
I'm sorry.
According to me, they have already set
The
aside
judgment is
the
available
High Court.
online for people to read who can and must.
And I have read it. I have read it before coming here. Let me put this very
Because I
clearly, and
already
to
on
even
the
the other
channel
gentlemen
from
who have
4 o'clock
spoken out
onwards,
here.
okay?
I am a gay man, and I have not chosen to be gay or homosexual. I didn't aspire to be one. It's my natural orientation, and that's what I discovered when I was 15 and 16, and probably had I not been handled, I would have been dead by now.
Yes.
This particular judgment which has come out there very clearly specifies about LGBT rights, and it speaks about my rights in the Constitution and whether it upholds those rights or it doesn't uphold those rights. As far as Article 14, Article 15 and Article 21 go, my rights have not been upheld, and I am not an equal citizen of this country as of today.
Absolutely
I am
right.
a criminal and I can be incarcerated anytime. It has effects on my family, my nephews, as well as my friends. There is a larger community out there. There's a larger community out there which has come out after the Delhi High Court verdict of 2009, which was progressive. They have come out at their workplaces. They have come out in a lot of their neighborhoods.
And in families.
And today they feel threatened that the court has not
with this debate, we'll continue on a short break. Subramaniam Swamy says homosexuality is a malfunction of the human body that should be treated medically. We would have liked him to be on the debate, but since he's not, we'll debate that perspective. And I think Rahul Easwar, even he will admit that that is completely wrong. Back in a few minutes.